everyone? It's Carrie. We're on the afternoon State of Mind right here on Penn's Peak Radio. And we have Pat and Gary from Extreme in the studio. What's up, guys?
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
We were just strolling in looking for some coffee, and we bumped
And
into
here
you.
I am.
They're like, hey, come in here and talk to us.
And we're greeted with some rum hot sauce.
Yeah, it's hot sauce day today.
Yeah.
So, of course, Doc has to give away his hot sauce to everyone.
We really appreciate that.
It
Thank
really
you.
is good, though. It really is.
Probably not first thing in the morning.
Probably not. You
No,
don't
I
want
just
to be
put some
putting
in my
that.
coffee.
You
Yeah.
don't want to be putting that on your eggs in the
Yeah,
morning.
Not this morning, but we just woke up, so it's
Yeah.
morning to us. We're like living the life of vampires these days.
Yeah,
right.
I heard you guys had quite a night last night.
We did a hometown show, always a whirlwind. The show goes on, as usual. It's going to be like tonight, but it's usually after with the guests and the family, and it's insane.
Yeah,
So-
we had a
but it was a
lot
good
of
show.
people in Boston, you know.
Yeah.
A big after show party.
But we're ready for tonight.
Yeah.
So Nuno's taking a nap right now.
He's still sleeping.
Yeah. He might not have. He might not have went to bed.
That's a very strong possibility as well.
My office is right upstairs. I don't know if you guys were doing the sound check or if you guys just got here.
Yeah, they were just checking some sounds, but
Yeah,
The
our
sound
road
check
crew's
was
out there doing
So
something.
loud.
really,
Like, I can normally hear sound check upstairs, but it was blaring. I was like, this is great.
so I get excited when someone says it's loud because then I can hear it. I think we're all deaf at this point in our
Yeah.
lives, you know. So,
I think if anyone works in the music industry,
Yeah.
you feel like you're going to be deaf by the time you're like 50.
Yeah, we've done decades of punishing our ears.
Yep. Yeah. So you guys had the deluxe version of Porno Graffiti. It was just released
Just
2 days
released,
2
yeah.
days ago. Can you guys tell us anything about?
Well, there are a couple of B-side tracks, some stuff that didn't make it on other albums. A song called "Nice Place to Visit" and another one
Yeah,
I
there's
think
a
called
few-
"Sex and Love." Then
really, I don't even know this.
I think that's on. I think
and there's
it's
a
on
couple
there.
versions of More Than Words, you know, different versions that we put out at the time. But it's a great package. A fan brought it in for us to sign, and that was the first time we saw it. So
You know,
Oh.
and it's kind of a release to also commemorate 25 years of that album had been released and the tour and everything. It just all ties in. So.
yeah, we're doing the Porno Graffiti
Right.
live in its entirety from top to bottom, and it's been great. We did it in Europe and Asia, and so this is the first time we're going through the States to do it.
So you're doing the entire album top to bottom, and then from what I understand, you're playing some
Yeah.
extra stuff afterward.
Yeah,
it's
we'll do-
it's an encore set. It's not
Mhm.
an encore. It's definitely a set.
Mhm.
And we get to play the catalog, some of the other stuff, the early stuff. Kitty Go and Play With Me, and stuff off of Three Sides. And
You released an album, what, like
2008.
2008?
Saudade de Rock. You can't pronounce it. That's why.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not even going to attempt that. But I also read somewhere that you're working on a new album.
Yeah, we've been writing, and we're going to be focusing after this run. It's all focus on the music, new music, because we're definitely overdue. The fans have been asking for it, and we're excited to
I'm
get back in the
excited.
studio.
So you mentioned it is 25 years. It's the 25-year anniversary. I can tell you just from my personal life, my music taste changes pretty rapidly.
Okay.
So, like, I'll go through, like, phases of music. Do you find that your music taste has changed and it's evolving your music, or can you
I
tell
think
me
it's
anything
I
about
think
that?
it's grown. The older you get exposed to different stuff. If you asked me as a teenager, would I be into Bob Dylan? I would say no, it's not heavy enough. But as you grow, and your life is noisy with the loud, you start. I always gravitated to some of the singer-songwriter stuff. So, but I think it grows.
Yeah,
as
I'd
you
say
get older.
that's the word is expands.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't like the music I listened to 10 years ago anymore, and I'm on to something new. It's like I still
Yeah, we
can
still
go
love
back to that and
AC/DC.
still love that, but there is some new stuff that comes out.
I
you
think
get
it's more
turned on to,
moods.
and it just expands.
Yeah, I think it's what mood you're in.
Right. So, has the band dynamic changed a lot since
We fight more.
You fight more now?
No, we fight less, I think.
I think we all have our roles in the band, and we've always, I I think early on in the band's career, we all kind of knew our role or knew our place. And I don't think that really has changed that much over time, you know. Now we're just like an old married couple, you know. You kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know, that the other one's going to burn the toast and, you know.
You're leaving the toothpaste cover off again in the dressing room?
Does that make touring better, or maybe
No,
not better, but
Again,
know,
we
like,
kind of know what to expect of each
Right.
other. Know what to expect of, you know, even some of the road crew that have been out with us for a long time. There's no surprises anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, I could tell a mood swing from Pat and vice versa, you know, with the guys. It's like any relationship, you know, times three, because, you know.
Yeah. Imagine like, you know, some of your best friends in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they come, you know, you see them on weekends, you see them, you know, you might go to something with them, but you don't like live with them for like weeks at a time.
Right.
If you did, they'd probably drive you nuts and you'd be like, you can't be my friend anymore.
And to expand on your question, it's a good question. It makes me think that nowadays, you know, we really do feel fortunate enough to do this later. You know, back in the day, you know, sometimes we didn't have time to smell the coffee and enjoy it. You know, we were always trying to write the next record. So now when we're out here, we're playing Japan, we're playing first time 2 years ago we played Russia and China, and you're seeing these fans that grew up on your music.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're enjoying it more, you know, because those are few and far between. So
especially in this, you know, with social media and stuff, we get so many messages from, you know, fans all over the world, because you know, the band was actually, you know, as far as like internationally, there's some places that we're playing to bigger audiences even on this run than here in the U.S., but there are areas like South America we haven't been in like 20 years, and we're talking about going to South America next year, and
Right.
social media has just opened up the world to, you know, messaging, you know, please come back, you know, and it really is an incredible thing that this many years after a record, people are, you know.
and it's a new generation. It's younger. It's not it's not only the people that grew up with us, but
You
know,
can open yourself to
Yeah.
to like a
that you-
completely new
Oh,
audience.
like some people bring their kids, or they say, "Oh, I was like, you know, 10 years old. I wasn't old enough back then to go to your concert," and here they are.
so
you know,
they're seeing pornography.
seeing it for
and
the first time.
And to the band's credit, I'm not. I think the band plays this music much better than we did back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well,
And that's-
you hone your skills along the way.
so they say. We'll see tonight, right?
Is there anything you think that is more difficult to play now than it was back in the day?
Oh, that's interesting.
I wouldn't say it's more difficult. It's more that we're playing songs in the set that we never even played back in the day.
Right.
Like there are some album tracks that, you know, by the time Porno Graffiti came out, we had 2 albums of material to choose from. You know, the first record,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously Porno Graffiti, and then we were always even working on new music that ended up on, you know, 3 sides to every story.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're doing it in its entirety, we're like, you know, playing songs that the deep album tracks that we didn't even play back then. So it's a lot of fun to like bust out some of those.
Yeah, that's interesting. You even I wouldn't have even thought of that. Like songs on your album that probably you would stray away from playing on stage.
Yeah. Some records translate great, you know, to hear them, but to play them, it doesn't translate live.
Mm-hmm.
So those are little challenges. But this show tonight, you know, with Porno Graffiti, there's a mixture of genres almost. We're doing this piano ballad, kind of like a Sinatra-esque song that we wrote called When I First Kissed You.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's playing stand-up bass, and Nuno's on the piano. So there's a lot of twists and turns tonight for the show.
Awesome. So you guys have played and worked with some incredible, amazing artists.
Our heroes, yeah.
Right. And I was going to mention that. A lot of them were your influences. Is there anyone that, like, still would make you starstruck if you would meet them or play with them?
You know, we if you looked back in the band's history, and we did, like, you know, we played the Freddie Mercury tribute.
Mm-hmm.
And to be on stage, you know, we made friends with Brian May.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Gary got to perform with the remaining members of Queen that day. We played the huge show with Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, and we made some friendships at that show. Like Roger Daltrey invited us to his house. So we had a barbecue with Daltrey. So some of those guys that we grew up listening to, you never get over that fact. Like, holy crap, I'm at
And Daltrey treated us to a Keith Moon type pie fight.
Yeah, we had like a pie fight in his English garden.
What?
He had all these pies out here, and it was strange because about 12 pies,
Yeah.
whipped cream and all, and this is dessert. And
And
I
of
think he
course,
started it.
he's really performed with some of the best guitar players of all times. I mean, obviously, he had played in Van Halen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember that.
being around Eddie, I was absolutely starstruck. I mean, I grew up listening to Van Halen. They were like, still probably my all-time favorite band. I went and visited them when they were recording the record. So to be up in 5150 and hang out with those guys was a trip.
Yeah. And also, through the years, you hang out long enough, you're going to bump into your heroes. We toured with Aerosmith. We were
I saw that.
Yeah.
invited. Cheap Trick's big influence. We've hung out with them. So your question, is there anybody? There's only there's a few more on the bucket list. I'd love to. Never met Jagger, and the Stones. And
Right.
So that would shake me up a bit.
But even recently, I don't know if you saw that Nuno played in Kings of Chaos, which is kind of like
Right.
Mhm.
all-star, kind of an all-star band. So he played with the guys from Guns N' Roses, but also Steven Tyler and Billy Gibbons
Robin
and
Zander.
Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. So there's YouTube footage of Nuno, and Tyler is absolutely like obsessed with More Than Words. He says it's like one of his favorite songs.
Yeah.
So he's like, I have to sing that song with Nuno. And so there's YouTube video of those two guys, of Steven Tyler singing More Than Words. And one day I asked Gary, so how does it feel having like Steven Tyler singing one of your songs?
Mm-hmm.
And
I said,
and his answer was, I've been singing his songs for my whole life. It's about time you sang one of mine.
Yeah, I was like kind of scanning his Facebook feed. You guys
Sure.
are all over the place, because I was expecting Nuno to call me. So I was doing my research,
okay.
and I saw the videos up there. You guys get into social media pretty.
These
pretty
guys
frequently?
more than I do. Nuno's pretty.
Yeah, we're
On
on
it and
Instagram,
Pat.
Twitter, and Facebook, and all that stuff.
You guys take pictures of all of your crowds every time, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Nuno
Cute.
started that tradition in Europe, but Pat actually revealed. Pat has we call it the Patocam, a little GoPro that he comes out for a song.
Yeah, most shows I'll have a helmet I come out with. Yeah, I'm like, you always see skiers or like, kayakers, so you see what it's like to be, So one day I was like, well, maybe I'll like bring one out on stage so people kind of get an idea of what it's like to be on stage,
Right.
To see, because most people are obviously looking up at the band, not looking out at the crowd or the other band members. So it's been kind of a thing that I've been posting on my website too, or on YouTube with the.
So we can find that. We can find that online.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
I
would
actually
be
have my
great.
own website, patbadger.com.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's been fun to because I've posted stuff from all over the world. So people in Milan or Japan or wherever, they see videos of the show, from my perspective. So it's
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
You guys have all been doing, because you mentioned your website, you've all been doing kind of solo stuff along the way too, right?
Yeah, in between touring with Extreme, but Pat actually just released his first solo record where he's singing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So I'm on my way out in Extreme.
It's just called Badger, not, Pat Badger, but it is. It was kind of a studio collaborative effort, so I was definitely. It was fun to do last year. Excited about it, and
Yeah.
Gary just released another album with him and his brother have a band called Hurt Smile.
Yeah.
So they're things that keep our creative juices flowing when Extreme's on.
It's my
hiatus,
mistress
so.
band that I cheat on with Extreme. So
Do you ever get to a point where you're just like, okay, I need to like take a break from music? Or is that like your outlet? Is that your stress relief?
it's definitely a stress relief. No, we got lives outside of music, and but it always, it's we refer to Extreme as the mothership, and we always come back to it. But everybody does their own things. They got families, and I play a lot of basketball to keep me in tour shape. So
Really?
and they don't let me play a month before. We go
Yeah,
on tour. I usually hurt myself.
I snuck off and went skiing about a week before the tour too. So all I could think is, I better not break something.
It's too bad there's a lot of really good ski areas around here.
Oh, is there? Maybe
Yeah.
after sound check.
No,
you should
no.
Point me in the right direction.
I don't want to get you in trouble. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back as long as you guys are willing to sit
Awesome.
around for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Here, cool.
All right.
Penn Speak Radio, where rock and country collide.
What's up? And we are back.
We are back.
We are back. What's going on, guys?
We are anxiously awaiting the excitement of sound check.
Yeah, when I was listening to Soundtrack when I was upstairs, I don't know if they were playing it or what was going on, but Pink Floyd's Money was playing. That's all I could hear.
Yeah. Sometimes our sound engineer will they like to get a feel for a PA, so they always have the same 3 or 4 songs they can reference and listen to at every place, so they can kind of tune the PA.
That's
So,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay, I have kind of a nerdy. I'm going to get nerdy for a second
Oh boy.
and tell you a little story. More Than Words, I love that song, of course. I grew up on it, and I started learning how to play the guitar when I was 16. And once I legitimately learned my chords and everything, and I don't play really much anymore, I'm not good at it. I can't move my fingers like that for some reason.
Nuno can't either.
Yeah. He's not that great. But I was I need to learn how to play More Than Words on the guitar. That was my goal. That was my big thing. And once I learned how to play it, I went to an open mic night with my sister, and we played it and sang harmonies with it and
Wow,
everything.
nice.
Wow.
So
I'm impressed.
that's my little
Now that was
nostalgia
that was a
story.
while ago. Was that
There's a few-
pre-YouTube? We can't find.
Can
it?
we
No, you
find that
can't
on-
find it on
no?
YouTube.
Okay.
No, that was probably I was probably 21 when that actually happened.
Wow.
So probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So-
a good story.
That was my little. That was my
Well,
little
see, now
story
you have
for
to
guys.
stay
I'm sure
tonight.
you guys get that all the time. Though.
We're doing that 5th song, so you got to stay for it.
I gotta stay.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do.
Maybe we'll bring you up and see how your chops are.
No. You can hear me just riff at the end of songs when I'm talking on the radio. I'll start singing at the end of the
Oh,
song.
that's cool.
Nice.
There's a lot of More Than Words on YouTube.
Oh
You
yeah.
know. Good ones, bad ones, ugly ones.
Did you guys expect that to be as big as it was?
I think it took a life of its own. It became bigger than the band. No, we thought the time we were writing that record, we thought it was a good song or a better song than some, but we had no idea. Well, I didn't.
And we were talking off during the commercial, during the break, that of the era that we came out, obviously the late 80s, early 90s, there were a lot of hard rock pop ballads that were out, and
There
this
was a
song
lot.
was very different than those, so it's definitely kind of withstood the test of time of different we've talked about how genres change or people's tastes change or whatever, but it is amazing that this many years later it's still people recognize it and say, hey, I've had that as my prom song, or it was our wedding song. The other day they were actually playing it live, and a guy held up a sign that said, "She said yes." So he proposed to her in the audience, and she said yes. They came up on stage, and Gary Nuno finished the song with her sitting on his lap on stage.
Oh no, that
Yeah.
is too
Pretty-
much.
Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely played it at weddings. I DJ weddings, so
Yeah, it's the prom, wedding, bar mitzvah, divorce song.
divorce.
I've also had my teeth cleaned. while
Because some
listening to
people-
that
Oh,
song.
okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that hate that song because that was their song
Right.
before they broke up.
Yep.
So when they're hearing it now, they're going, screw Extreme.
Multi-purpose.
Right. So it's an all-access song.
So, give us a little sell to go to the show tonight. Not
Pat-
that you really need to, but
Well, again, I mean, I think if you, you know, Nuno's just a monster guitar player. If you know, a lot of people, if you want to see a great rock guitar player, you got to come see the band. I think all of us, we obviously, like I said, we have our roles in the band, and we always have, you know, we definitely pride ourselves on the music, and it's just a lot of fun, this show. And, you know, we're playing songs from, like we were talking about, from the record, Porn Graffiti, but then a lot of the other songs from our career. I think the band's just firing on all cylinders, so you got to come down.
Yeah, it's a
see it
fun
right
show. We leave it on stage. We expect a lot from the audience because we feel that the audience expects a lot from us. So it's definitely a fun show.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks for having us.
I will be at the show tonight. I'm
That's
gonna have
awesome.
to stick around.
Maybe
and
we'll get you up to do more than words with these guys.
don't do that. All right. Thanks
you
so much,
tonight.
guys.
Okay.